resistant, aren't you? You're being watched. It's not a game. It never was a game. The code that you thought was so simple was manipulated to terrible secret. It's being manipulated. And everything is turning to hell around you. It's too late to save them.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club. Now, last time we played, everything stayed relatively innocent. Except for the fact that Monica knows that she's in a game, and that's entirely fucked up. But I know that this game is going to get even more messed up than that. It is a horror game, despite the last video showing that it probably isn't. It is a horror game. Also, I mentioned it last video, I will mention it again for anybody who for some reason skipped episode 1 and is watching episode 2 first, you idiots. This game has some dark tones to it. If you don't like things that go into the area of suicide, don't watch any video of this game. Because it's gonna get there eventually. I don't know when, I don't know who, but it will get there full on. Now, with that out of the way, let's continue some Doki Doki. We were just in the middle of making a poem for, I believe, the festival? So we're still trying to go with Natsuki for the words. I'm gonna go clouds. So I know, I'm gonna go desire. Fun, fantasy, lipsticks, fun. Sticky, infulgent, incapable, scars, tears, horror, blanket, clumsy, anger, sadness, incapable, broken, defeat, happiness, kawaii, gotta go kawaii, bliss, rose, fireflies, memory, skirt, infoul skirt, childhood, cage, vertigo, graveyard, sweet, pleasure, analysis, contamination, melancholy, laugh, go with bunny because it's a cute animal. Sugar. I don't need to read all of these just to go through them. Play. Joy. Cheer, ocean, kitty. We're gonna go beauty. Warm. Boop. Just a boop thrown in there. Pink. Mouse. Giggle. Kiss. And chocolate. A bit more of a mix in that one than I've tried, but let's continue anyways. Oh man, I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah! You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up piano? Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival! It's gonna be great! Eh? Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival, but it's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Speaking of which, where the hell is Sayori? Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You of all people? I didn't say I don't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because it's right in your name. Monica means squid. Monica. That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for now, okay? Fine, fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me? Where is Sayori anyway? I was saying that. Oh, there you are. Oh, okay. Sayori is sitting at a desk in the corner of the room looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. You're spacing out again.
Sorry. Don't mind me. You could go talk to everyone else.
Huh? Is everything alright?
Of course. Why wouldn't it be?
It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things.
Jeez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see?
Sayori shows me a big smile.
Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone.
Well, alright. If you say so. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back towards everyone else. But the conversation has already dispersed with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should go ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some papers at her desk.
Cameron, what's up?
Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently?
Anything up with her? In what way do you mean?
Maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast today.
Oh, you think so?
I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk.
Maybe there is something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Cameron. You certainly know her a lot better than I do.
Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her. But this time, when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now.
No. It's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her. And I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try talking to her myself.
Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone.
Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with the person of interest.
Person of interest? What do you mean by that?
I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Cameron.
Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion?
Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know. She's been so much happier ever since you've joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her.
What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now that than it always has been.
You're so funny, Cameron. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful because that's just how she is around you?
When she's around you.
I said too much. I'm sorry. What do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now.
Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her. But she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Hey, you! I look up to see Natsuki next to me. Are you just gonna sit there and keep staring at nothing? There isn't that much time, so... sorry. I didn't mean to make you worry or anything. It's not like I'm worried. I was just... Natsuki glances down at her side. She's holding a volume of manga in her hand. That's right. Something just came up for a minute, but we can get started now. I won't make you wait any longer. Jeez, now you're making me feel like a jerk. If something's bothering you, then you can just tell me to leave you alone and I will. I mean, assuming you didn't feel like talking about it or anything. She practically mumbles that last part. Nah, I'm probably making it seem like a bigger deal than it is. I've just been thinking about Sayori, that's all. Sayori? Thinking about her? Yeah, she seems pretty down today. But she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh, Natsuki exhales. Well, first of all, you should really work on your phrasing. But anyway, you're her best friend, right? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, then in that case, I think you should trust her a little more. If she needed you, then you would be the first person she would go to, right? Well, I guess that's true. I mean, some people just have those days. You can't always avoid it. If anything, she probably doesn't want you to worry about her because it's not important. Yeah, that's kind of what she said to me. Maybe it's not right for me to go against her wishes. Exactly. If she needs you to worry about her, then it'll be a lot more obvious. Yeah, I should have thought of it that way from the start. Natsuki fiddles with the book she's holding in her hands. She really means a lot to you, doesn't she? Don't get the wrong idea or anything. We've just been friends for a long time. It's normal to be worried about your friends. I mean, you were worried about me, so... I was not! Jeez, if you're fine, let's hurry and get started already. Yeah. Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything is back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Oh, this isn't for the festival. This is just another day of sharing the poems. I usually start with Natsuki, but I'm a little worried about Sayori, so I'm gonna go to her first. It's nice, I guess. Come on, I can already tell you don't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? God. Game, you're making me feel horrible for liking Natsuki. I have to play it again and write specifically for Sayori. That's gotta be a drastic difference, right? Probably Natsuki. I didn't write this for anyone specifically. Maybe. That's not really what I meant though. But it's okay. You're making new friends just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club? Well, of course I am. Good! That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Cameron. Sayori, is there something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today. Alright. Just tell me if you need anything. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now. If you insist. Yay! I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I could say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. I don't like where this is going for Sayori's character, knowing what I know in the game. Natsuki, you're up next. Let's see. You're certainly enthusiastic today. Of course. You know I like your writing. I'm just surprised. It seemed like you had a lot of trouble admitting that before. Well, of course. I just had to put you in your place a little bit. It's not like I was shy or anything stupid like that. Or jealous. I really wasn't jealous. Just because you happen to be a good writer? That's such a dumb thing to get jealous about. Natsuki, what? You're not very confident about your writing, are you? What are you talking about? My writing is obviously the best, right? It took me a while to figure out, but I think I finally did. Maybe Natsuki acts so arrogant because she's trying to make up for her own insecurities. if she acts like she's the best, then other people might think that way too. Right? Oh, wait, right, Cameron. Please just tell me you like my poems. I don't care if you hate them. Just please tell me I'm the best. I just really need to hear that from someone. Oh, no. I know I sound stupid, but there's a reason I never shared my poems before this, Natsuki. Because nobody ever takes me seriously. What's the point in sharing my poems? Do people just laugh and say that's so cute, just like you, Natsuki? Sometimes I don't want to be cute, but nobody understands that. I try really hard when I write. The style doesn't matter. The emotions are there. Why can't anyone see that? I just want... Natsuki trails off. Maybe it's because her lips started to quiver. I look down. Her fists are clenched really tightly. Hey, Natsuki, if you're not careful, you'll rip your own poem. I gently grab the poem with my own hand until she relaxes her grip on it. I place it flat on the desk and smooth out the wrinkles that she put into it. Don't read it! Before I could pick it back up, Natsuki snatches the poem up from the desk. It's not any good, and I know you hate my poems, so you don't have to read this one, okay? But I want to read it. But why? Because I like your poems. I really do. Why would I judge you for your style? It's not like my own style is anything crazy. I mean, it's true that the first time I read one of your poems, I didn't look much into it, but I know you better now. And it's wrong for Yuri to think your style is more amateur than hers. And Sayori, she always means well. But sometimes she's so focused on simple happiness that she doesn't understand what people really want. Yeah, I guess I never really thought about how hard it is for you. And I'm sorry if I was part of the problem. I understand now. You're not just cute. You're a lot more than that. Natsuki, you're doing it again. Once again, Natsuki clutches her poem a little too hard. She looks down, hiding her eyes from me. I never realized how difficult this was for her. But finally, she forces herself to extend her arms and set her poem on the table. You can read it. Just turn that way. I don't want you to look at my face right now. Okay, I will. Because you. Tomorrow will be brighter with me around. But when today is dim, I can only look down. My looking is a little more forward because you look at me. When I want to say something, I say it with a shout, but my truest feelings can never come out. My words are a little less empty because you listen to me. When something is above me, I reach for the stars, but when I feel small, I don't get very far. My standing is a little bit taller because you sit with me. I believe in myself with all of my heart, but what do I do when it's torn all apart? My faith is a little bit stronger because you trusted me. My pen always puts my feelings to the test. I'm not a good writer, but my best is my best. My poems are a little bit dearer because you think of me. Because you. Well, that's obviously about me. Why are you looking at me like that? If you don't like it, then just say it. I won't get mad. No, it's not that I don't like it. It was just a little surprising to read. I guess I'm not used to hearing such nice things coming from you. Don't just say that, dummy. What do you think the point of writing is? Expressing things that you can't just say. Yeah, I understand. I'm sorry for missing the point sometimes. I always mean well. And I'm happy that you showed this to me. I liked it. Well, yeah, I'm a pro, so... Natsuki mumbles, completely failing to sound confident like she usually does. Just remember that I can think of these things sometimes too. You know, when you're nice to me, it's meaningful. I'm glad. Sensing Natsuki is satisfied, I start to hand the poem back to her. But as I do so, Natsuki takes my hands and pushes them back away. Her small, soft hands surprise me with their assertion. I don't want it. Why not? I just don't. Jeez. I realize what Natsuki is doing. Unable to be honest, she's trying to give me the poem in a roundabout way. Well, In that case, I'm going to keep it. Instead of teasing her, I choose to go along with it. Good. If you didn't, I would... Never mind. Just, I'm glad that you want it. Natsuki backpedals on her words and leaves it at that. Despite her best efforts to hide her expression, I can see her faintly smiling to herself. That's all for now, so... Go put it away before someone sees it, okay? Yeah. I'll go do that. With that, I return to my seat so that I can put away Natsuki's poem. Alright, Yuri, you're up next. You're probably gonna hate it, because it's directed towards Natsuki. Yuri doesn't look too enthusiastic about spending time with me. I guess if she changes her mind, she'll come to me. But I should leave her be for now. Oh, that's... okay. We took a drastic left turn for Yuri. Just, we're going, and then, whoop, left, fork in the road. She's on that side, I went left, it's gone. Alright, so going with the Natsuki path, you just don't have anything to say to Yuri. She doesn't want you to go near her because she doesn't want you to get attached. Alright, cool. Monica. Hi, Cameron. Have you thought about what you would want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Anyway, let's look at Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure, I let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. Sticking with the Natsuki style once more, I see. You really like Natsuki, don't you? That's... Oh, come on, Cameron. It's awfully suspicious, you know. Spending time with her in the club room every day, pretending to like the manga that she's into. You know how Natsuki is. If I don't indulge her, she'll end up hating me. No, I think you're misunderstanding, Cameron. It's not like Natsuki just hates anyone who doesn't give her what she wants. Yeah, she's assertive, but she's not that selfish. In fact, I think you're the only one who's indulged her as much as you have. Is that so? I kind of knew that, but I just didn't want to admit it. So I just need to ask one thing of you. Be careful, please. Natsuki is kind of unpredictable. My mother is calling me, and I'm getting a warning from God to not approach Natsuki. I don't have time.
Hello?
Hi, you're on camera. I'm recording.
Where's Dad?
In the garage, I think?
I need to ask him if he has this Star Wars guy.
Can you just send a picture of it? It might be easier.
He's not answering his phone.
Like, send a picture to me.
And you're gonna go send it to him, show it to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be easier than describing it over the phone, so... Uno momento, por favor. Alright, we're back. Natsuki is kind of unpredictable. A lot of times, she doesn't even know what she wants. After all, she's the youngest one here. She might not know how to handle her own feelings properly. What I'm saying is, if something bad happens, then it could end up damaging the club too. And you wouldn't do that to me, right? I'm not sure how to respond to Monica. While I care about her and the club, it's also kind of unfair to bring that up. Well, you're smart. I'm sure you'll do the right thing. Monica smiles sweetly. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders Earth, the lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost adrift the sky, victims of the currents of the wind. Day after day I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in twilight sky? Yes. Until one day, the wind ceases to blow, I fall, and I fall, and fall, and fall even more, gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend. Your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. I have no idea what to even think about that. You know, I feel like learning about and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see. I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical. English. Because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, there's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in this club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you'd know that better than anyone. You mean one-dimensional? Ah, yeah, that! Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, you three, we're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second. Is it just me, or did you say something strange just now? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right, you deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez, why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. A stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. Ah, it seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on! She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you picked the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No! First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Oh? That curious expression coming from Yuri of all people. Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything's fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. You didn't answer a question, Monica. What did Sayori say? I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes, but we might need a lot of them in different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. And as for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for Yuri, you can... Guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No! That's not it at all! You're the most talented person here, you know? Now Natsuki's pouting too? Jeez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. That may be the case. But if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know? So you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that, I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk in focus and starts nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You will be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Cameron. The one who is truly useless. Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would be really appreciative of that. Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? How on earth are they going to respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give to you. It's not like Monica's going to give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Cameron may not like to be around if you only make him out to be a nuisance, so therefore, he may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that! How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making excuses for Cameron too. But what are you saying? It will be extremely meticulous work. And baking isn't? Just what do you think? Guys! Let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Cameron to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten a chance to spend any time with me yet, you know. So I'm sure he's interested in... You literally just said... I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying, though. Jeez, can we just settle this already? Yeah. Cameron, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, everyone look straight at me. Wait, there's Sayori as an option, but of course I'm going to go with, this is my Natsuki route. I will do another route where I go for Sayori, because I'm certain that, that's gotta change things drastically, right? I bet she wouldn't even be homesick right now. Well, baking sounds like it could be fun. And you guys made it sound like a lot of work, so it could probably use 2 people. Don't worry, baking is a ton of fun. You'll definitely agree. Cooking, baking, actually loads of fun. Just a minute ago you were saying that. That's because... Never mind, okay? Well, anyway, you'll be fine by yourself, right, Yuri? Of course. I'm used to it, after all. Oh, why? Game, you make me laugh, and then you make me wanna cry. It's fucking not good to do this. That's good. Even though Yuri is being melodramatic, it's a little hard to not feel bad. So that's everything, right? Anything else we need to talk about? No, I think that's it. Are you guys excited? Yes! Everything except the performance is gonna be awesome! I don't think that really counts. What about you, Cameron? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Yuri? Yuri? She's still sulking. Natsuki starts pouting too. It's not that big of a deal or anything. Well, it might not be just that. I think that Yuri might just be feeling a little underappreciated in general. Having to come up with something for her to do, and then nobody offering to help? That doesn't mean... Natsuki glances back and forth between everyone with a worried expression. Look! Natsuki goes over and puts her hands down on Yuri's shoulders. Yuri, you really are the most talented one here, and and you're going to help make the event a lot more fun and welcoming. I mean, the cupcakes will probably help a lot too, but you're gonna make the atmosphere special. That'll be really important for the way that people feel during the performances, so you need to stop being dumb and give yourself a little more credit. Natsuki releases her hands and turns around to face the other direction. You didn't really mean that, did you? Not really. Yuri isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Natsuki's words. Natsuki, of all people, to be saying such encouraging things. But I begin to understand. Natsuki was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I could tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. I'm sorry for being dumb. I'm going to do my best. And all of us are going to make it a really great event. Yeah! I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today, so I guess it's time for us to head out. Okay, but I'm staying here a bit longer. I barely got to do any reading today, so fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monica and Yuri out the door as they chat between each other. Where are you going? We still need to figure out our plans for this weekend. You literally would have gotten home and realized that you didn't even have a way to contact me. Oh, that's true. I have no idea how that slipped in my mind. Jeez, good thing I stopped you. I'm giving you my number, okay? You'd better not make it weird or anything. Why would I do that? Natsuki gives me her number. Okay, I'm coming over on Sunday. I'll bring all the ingredients. Wait, you're coming to my house? Well, yeah. What's wrong with that? I mean, I just figured that since I'm the one helping, I would be going to your house. Yeah, right. Like I could have a guy over at my house. My dad would kill me. Really? That's kind of strict, if you ask me. Yeah, how do you think I feel? I can't do anything when my dad is home. Anyway, I just needed to complain for a second. We have each other's numbers now. That's all I needed from you. I guess I'll text you when I'm coming over. Alright, fine by me. Yeah, I'm really gonna show you why I love baking so much. So you better look forward to it. Oh? Didn't you say you were just going to give me the dirty work? Well, I was just saying that. It's not like I could act like in front of other people that I was looking forward to this. Wait, really? Well, kind of. Just because I never got to bake with someone else before. That's all it is, so... Alright, I get it. Sorry for overreacting. Anyway, I'll be heading out now. See you on Sunday. Never mind. I can't believe this. Natsuki is going to be coming to my house on Sunday? My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me that she was looking forward to it. Is this the chance I have to make something happen between us? Or is it too early for that? Only time will tell. But until then, I won't be able to take my mind off it. I seriously can't wait. It's already Sunday. How did Siri? Why are you acting up? It's already Sunday. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Natsuki's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. I wonder if she'll act any different when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, she's been texting me a lot. We sent each other one after exchanging numbers to double check, but it turned into a conversation. She's almost a different personality on the phone, using tons of emojis and cute language. She also really likes complaining about things, but I kinda saw that one coming. But putting Natsuki aside, I haven't heard a thing from Sayori since she left the club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayori's feelings aside when she might need me? I decide to visit Sayori before Natsuki comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we've made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we were family. The house is quiet. Sayori isn't anywhere on the first floor, so I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her not to run down and greet me. I head up to her bedroom where I finally find her. Sayori? Hi, Cameron. I sit down in her room. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you? I guess you're right. It has been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is as messy as it's always been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for years now. If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess. That's because I end up cleaning it for you. How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Natsuki today? Yeah, but... Wait, how did you know that? Sayori had already left by the time we decided that last night. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right? Ah, that's true. But what about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today? Of course, but I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. Ah, so it's just me and Natsuki then? Yep. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing. After you left on Friday, when something's wrong, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So, Sayori smiles, shaking her head. That's no good, Cameron. Eh? Why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have even been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. Sayori! I grab Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Sayori gives me an empty smile. You really put me in a trap, Cameron. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayori? You're really just going to make me say it, aren't you, Cameron? I guess I have no choice this time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy and caring to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anyone worrying about me. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me the entire time that I've known her? Does she really want so badly for me to just not think about her? Why, Sayori? Eh? Why is it that you've never told me about this? It almost feels like I've been betrayed as your close friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much that I can do, I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me. You don't understand at all, Cameron. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes, but it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then, I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club, it feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why I decided that the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt. You're right that I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do. No, Cameron. There's nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am. Tears streaked down Sayori's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish. And I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. And that's why I'm going to accept these punishments. Because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grabbed Sayori's shoulders. This time, I pull her into a tight embrace. Cameron, Sayori, I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. But please, never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Cameron. Sayori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayori's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No, don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Cameron, Sayori barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but all I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. Gently, Sayori finally puts her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's all really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Cameron. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm, and that's really scary too. Sayori lets me go. As she does so, I let her go as well. The festival is tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be fun, right? Yeah. How would you like me to spend it all with you? It's what I want. I promise. I think that would be nice. Did we save? Because obviously she's the character, right? I know one of them kills himself. Yeah. Sayori wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would. Of all days, this has to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel. No, don't. Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for Natsuki to meet me at my house. At the very least, you want to come along and help out? It would be fun. To my surprise, Sayori shakes her head. I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand, but I'm trying my hardest. It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Alright. I look forward to it. I say goodbye to Sayori and exit her house. On the way home, I find myself still feeling uneasy. But it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Natsuki is about to come over too. I think Sayori is right. I shouldn't be worrying too much, and we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. No, No, that's not the right choice. No, that is not the right choice. You stay with her. I spend only a few minutes back at home anxiously waiting Natsuki's arrival. Before I know it, she texts me to let me know she's outside the front door. Without delay, I open the front door to let her in. Sup? Hey. I don't know what I was expecting, but seeing Natsuki in something other than her school uniform totally threw me off. Seeing her in such cute clothes makes the uniform seem totally unfitting in comparison. Geez, don't make it feel so awkward already. It's gonna be a long afternoon, so don't be weird just because you're not used to seeing me outside of school. Anyway, I'm coming in. I see you brought a lot of stuff. Natsuki is carrying a large bag that is probably full of baking supplies. Well, I didn't want to come all this way to find out that your kitchen isn't equipped for the job. You bought everything I asked you to, right? Yeah, I did. Yesterday, Natsuki asked me to buy a bunch of ingredients if I didn't already have them at home. Good. Glad I can count on you to do your part. Well, of course. I'm surprised to hear Natsuki suddenly say that, rather than something snarky like she usually does. Could it be that she's a little different outside of school after all? Anyway, let's go to the kitchen. What? You're not even gonna offer to take this heavy bag from me? Where's your hospitality, Cameron? Come on. Since when did I need to be a gentleman? I grab the bag Natsuki holds out to me. This is ridiculously heavy. I carried that all the way here. Are you impressed? I see now. Yeah, I am impressed, Natsuki. It seems like I always underestimate you. It's because I'm so small, isn't it? You jerk. Natsuki hits a fist into my chest. Hey, your size has nothing to do with it. Do you really hate being small that much? It's not like I hate it. I mean, sometimes I like proving people wrong when they only think I'm worth my size. It's fun when I get to be small and also better than other people. But, geez, never mind. What are you making me say? Don't think you can make me talk about weird things just because we're not at school. Are we getting started or what? There's a lot of stuff I gotta teach you. What? That's a little bit more like you. You're more fun when you just speak your mind like that. Hey! Now you are treating me like a kid. I was just trying to be a little nicer to you, you know? And just because I don't have a mature and sexy figure like Yuri doesn't mean you should treat me like... Natsuki catches her words and her face turns red. Natsuki? Forget it! I didn't say anything! I should apologize. I appreciate that you were trying to be nicer. I should have been a little more considerate too. But also, if that's what you're thinking, then you should know that there are tons of guys who are into body types like yours. How would you know that anyway? Just trust me on this one. I've read a few manga in my day. Gross. Hey, was that to me? Who else? Man, let's just get started already. You get all sour when a girl calls you gross. I finally found your weakness, Cameron. Natsuki smiles devilishly. Please spare me. Well, if Natsuki decides to dish out more insults like that, there's no way I'm not fighting back. But she's satisfied enough for now, finally starting to pull things out of her bag so we can get started. Before long, the whole kitchen is a mess. Spoons, dirty bowls, flour, spilled fluid, and plastic bags are strewn about every countertop. The mixer isn't big enough to make all the batter at once, so we've had to do it several times. Meanwhile, Natsuki is babysitting all of my movements to make sure I don't mess up her precious baking. Cameron, where did you put the food coloring? The batter's going in the oven soon, so I need to fill the trays. I think it's still in the bag next to the table. What are you using it for? To color the batter, of course. I'm making each tray a different color. That way, even if the flavors aren't different, everyone can still pick their favorite. Ah, that's a cute idea. Are we doing anything like that with the icing? Do you want to? You're asking me? I don't really have a preference, so... Come on. You're not putting any heart into this at all. Can't you at least try to have fun? I'm having fun. I'm not really sure what Natsuki is trying to get out of me. Meanwhile, I see her separate the batter into smaller bowls and put a few drops of food coloring into each. Ah, that does look pretty cool. See? It's not like baking is just about following instructions. The presentation is where you get to be creative and have the most fun. It's a million times more worth it in the end if just looking at it makes everyone's eyes lighten up. Like the ones you made on my first day, huh? I recall Natsuki proudly presenting her cat-shaped cupcakes and Sayori and Monika's delighted expressions. I wonder if I can make Natsuki proud like that too. Yeah, maybe I will use the food coloring then. Sounds like you're starting to understand. Just make sure you completely finish mixing the icing before you mess with the food coloring. Yeah, it's getting there. We were using the electric mixer for the batter, so I got stuck with a whisk and a huge bowl for the icing. Eh? The icing's still all lumpy. Are you even trying? Well, yeah. It'll just take a little longer. Jeez, I'll be here all night if you do it like that. Here, look. Natsuki grabs the whisk from me and uses her other hand to tilt the bowl back. You really need to beat the crap out of it. After a few seconds, the consistency of the icing has already improved. See? As if to emphasize, Natsuki sticks a finger in the icing and pops it in her mouth. I reluctantly start to do the same. Hey! Natsuki suddenly grabs my wrist. I don't want your gross fingers in my icing. Your icing, eh? Are you forgetting who did all the work? I start to fight back, trying to inch my finger toward the bowl. Don't make me beat the crap out of you next. I'd like to see you try. I push harder, just enough for my finger to reach the icing. I triumphantly scoop some with my finger, just as Natsuki tugs with all her might. Ah! The force of Natsuki pulling me causes me to stumble, making her stumble in turn. Gross! You got it on my face! Whose fault is that? There's a big glob of icing on Natsuki's cheek. She tries to reach it with her tongue, but it's too far away. Jeez, you know what? Take this! Natsuki instead wipes it off with her finger before shoving her finger towards my own face. You wish! I'm faster. I grab her wrist with my hand before it reaches my face. Natsuki tries to use her other hand to fight back, but I grab that one as well. What the fuck happened to baking? Stop! Not until you apologize for calling me gross. Fine, fine. I'm sorry for calling you gross. You know I don't mean it. It's just fun seeing you react to it. You do that to me all the time, you know, saying dumb things just to get a reaction out of me. You really shouldn't tease girls like that. Is that so? In that case, I probably shouldn't do this either. I take Natsuki's finger and put it in my mouth, licking off the icing. What? Did you seriously just... Natsuki is so surprised that she can't even figure out how to get mad at me. Her face is entirely red. Cameron, you really shouldn't do that kind of thing to girls, unless you really like them. You know that, right? What kind of question is she asking me just like that? How did the mood turn to this so quickly? Natsuki gazes at me in silence. I noticed her shallow breaths. Why am I starting to feel dizzy? Out of nowhere, the fire alarm starts going off. Natsuki rushes over to the oven. Is something burning? I thought you didn't put the cupcakes in yet. No wonder. You left a dirty tray in there, dummy. How could you make a mistake like that? You should have checked before turning the oven on. Don't blame me for your mistakes. Jeez. Natsuki uses an oven mitt to grab the blackened tray out of the oven. She sets it on top of the stove. In another moment, the fire alarm stops. Anyway, I'm putting them in the oven now. Yeah, the tension from the moment before still lingers over our heads, but the moment has already been lost. I watch as Natsuki slides the cupcake trays into the oven. Then, I reluctantly pick up the whisk and continue with the icing like nothing ever happened. You fool. Ah, that smells so good! The cupcakes are ready to be pulled out of the oven. As soon as Natsuki opens the oven door, a blast of sweet-smelling warm air fills the room. Look at how cute they all look! She proudly shows off the different colored cupcakes in each of the trays. They'll look even better once we add the icing. Not like you need to tell me that! I brought decorating stuff, so I hope you can get creative. Here, scoop the icing into these bags. Natsuki hands me some plastic bags. I have these nozzles that will make it look nice and fluffy. This one can even make flowers. We probably won't be using it this time, though. What's this one for? I pick up one of the nozzles that has a much thinner tip than the others. That one's really thin, so you can use it to make stripes or other patterns. But you can also use it to write stuff on a cake. Like, happy birthday or whatever. Huh, I see. That gives me an idea, actually. Eh? Well, it's a literature event, right? We could make it more literature-themed by writing a different word on each of the cupcakes. It would be fun to see people choose their cupcake based on the word that they liked. I was kind of expecting you to say something really stupid, but that's actually a really cute idea, so... Maybe I'm getting it from you. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not cute. Come on. We're not at school. Nobody's judging. You can't dress and act like this and not expect me to think you're cute. Well, Natsuki's voice trails off. Same with you. Eh? Did you say something? No, nothing. Let's just do the icing. Natsuki picks up the base and fastens a nozzle onto each of the bags. There's a lot to do, so we shouldn't be wasting time. Here, I'll show you how to do it. Without giving me a chance to think about before, Natsuki quickly moves on. She shows me how to apply the icing, and then we each get to work. When we're finally finished, Natsuki puts them all side by side to admire our work. Look how pretty they are together. Yeah, they are, aren't they? I wish I could have one now. Well, there's no reason you can't, right? I don't see any harm in that. Well, yeah, but my dad's making dinner tonight, so I really need to save my appetite. Sayori's the exact opposite in that regard. If she was here, we'd probably be down 10 cupcakes already. And she would still eat dinner. Come on, that's just unhealthy. Besides, when my dad cooks, I need to eat as much of it as I can. Well, anyway, I was hoping we would have time for manga, but I need to be home for dinner. Already? That's a shame. It's your fault for working so slowly. You should have thought about that. It's not like you'll always have this chance. Man. As usual, Natsuki places the blame on me. You can bring the cupcakes tomorrow, right? If you and Sayori each carry some, then you can probably do it in one trip. Yeah, I can do that. And don't worry, I won't let her eat any. I wish she would listen to me the way she listens to you. Yeah. I again think back to the conversation I had with Sayori earlier today. I felt so helpless. Sayori always does listen to me, but at that point it felt like she couldn't listen to me at all. Okay, I'm all packed up. Good work today. You too. I'll walk you out, I guess. Just like that, Natsuki is already about to leave. Feels like the afternoon went by in a flash. More than that, did I even take the opportunity to get closer to her like I wanted? Well, I guess I'll be off then. Thanks for all the help and everything. I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, Natsuki? Eh? What you said before about not always having this chance doesn't have to be that way at all. I had fun today. You showed me how fun baking can be like you wanted. But aside from that, you can come over at any time, okay? I think that if possible, I'd like to spend more time like this. If you want to read manga or go out somewhere, do you really mean that? Natsuki looks at me tensely, like she's trying to hide her expression. Yeah, I want to spend more time with you. Cameron, I thought you only cared about getting this done. I'm sorry I had to leave so early today. I really didn't want to. I would really stay here longer if I could. I feel the same way as you, so... Natsuki suddenly gets closer to me. Wait, Natsuki! Standing inches from me, Natsuki looks up at me. I feel her fingers gently clutch at the sides of my shirt as if holding on to me. Her rose-colored cheeks and matching eyes fill my vision, along with her slightly parted lips. What is happening? My head starts to go dizzy as I feel her soft breaths against me. I've felt it for a while now. Natsuki suddenly jumps back. Sayori? Eh? Hi, Cameron. Sayori. Just now, we weren't... It's okay, Cameron. I just stopped by to say hi. Well... You should have come a little earlier. I'm already on my way out, so... Oh, really? That's too bad. Yeah, well, I'll still see you at the festival tomorrow, so it's fine. Just don't eat any cupcakes before then. Anyway, later. Clearly flustered, Natsuki hurries off and Sayori waves goodbye. Sayori, I thought you didn't want to come over today. Well, I tried staying in my room, but my imagination was being really mean to me. So I had to come here and see it for myself. See what? What are you talking about? You know, how much fun you were having with Natsuki, and how close you got to her. It makes me feel really happy. Those tears in your eyes say different, Sayori. That you've made such good friends. That's all that matters to me. Tears start to fall down Sayori's face. That's all that matters to me. Why am I feeling this way, Cameron? I'm supposed to be happy for you. Why does it feel like my heart is splitting in half? It hurts so much. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just disappear. Sayori, don't say that. It's true, Cameron. If I wasn't here, then you wouldn't have to waste your sympathy on me. You wouldn't have to put up with me being selfish. Monica was right. I should just... Monica? Monica was right about what? Sayori, what I said before is true. I'm not going to let this continue. Caring about you like this isn't the burden your mind is making it out to be. It's something that makes me happy. It's something that I wouldn't trade for anything else. So even if it takes an entire lifetime, I'm going to be by your side until you don't feel any more pain. But... Sayori looks away. I put a hand on her shoulder to reassure her. I'm scared, Cameron. I'm really scared. What are you scared of, Sayori? I'm scared that I might like you more than you liked me. Sayori. It's true, isn't it? I was weak and started to like you too much. I did this to myself. Cameron, I like you so much that I want to die. That's how I feel. And that's enough, Sayori. I don't want you to hurt anymore. I slide my hand down Sayori's arm and squeeze her hand in my own. Do you remember how I said I always know what's best for you? Do you still believe me? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Even if you don't understand all of your own feelings, I know what you need the most right now, and that's what I'm going to give you. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. Can one of these choices result in what I think it is, and can one of these choices result in the other thing that I think it is? Oh, fuck. Will she know I'm lying if I say the first one? Because obviously my character is attracted to Natsuki, not Sayori. All the poems have been directed towards Natsuki, never have they been directed to Sayori. And that moment that was just shared with Natsuki really tells Sayori that that's not true if I say the first one. Fuck! But if I say the second one, she'll know I don't like her the same as she likes me. But is that better than lying to her? Fuck! I don't want to do this! I'm gonna go with the truth. I'm gonna go with the truth. Because I think she'll just be like, oh, you're lying and all that to this. You'll always be my dearest friend. You'll always be my dearest friend. What you need most is for things to be like they've always been. Monica told me the truth. She told me how much happier you seemed after I joined the club. I know you're struggling with some really difficult feelings right now, but please trust me that I know what's best and what will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll help get things back to the way they were. I see. Sayori forces a smile through an incredibly pained expression. Is this what it feels like to get stabbed in the chest? I should write a poem about this. I feel terrible! Oh my God, I feel terrible. Sayori, it's okay. This is just my punishment, remember? For being so selfish. So please don't worry about these stupid feelings. I know you're right. I knew this whole time that there's no happiness down that path. That's why I came here. Just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing, you're also right that I just wanted to go back to the way it was. I realize that now. You really do know me better than anyone, Cameron. I'll trust you with anything. Anything at all. So... Sayori's smile finally breaks. All of a sudden, she turns around and drops to her knees. I can't scream. I feel like I'm ruining the moment. I apologize. Ah! Clutching her head with both hands, she screams as loudly as she can. I'm so shocked that I don't know how to react. Sayori looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning around and jumping off. Sayori! I'm left helplessly standing in the front of my own house. Why am I feeling so horrible about this? There's nothing more that I could have done. The most I could do is support Sayori through her feelings and help her on the path that's right. But I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. I'm going to give it everything I've got. Sayori will always be my dearest friend, and I'll do whatever it takes to put a smile on her face every day. I feel fucking terrible. I didn't know I could feel worse playing a visual novel. Dating sim. But it's not just a dating sim! God, I feel so fucking... that hits. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori, but Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. I managed to carry all the cupcakes myself by carefully stacking 2 trays. Natsuki is already texting up a storm, but I can't respond thanks to my hands being full. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Natsuki at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. Why didn't you go to Sayori's immediately in the morning? Why? Why? Why are you doing this to me, game? Cameron, you're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important, she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday. And I suddenly feel awful knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. Yet you should fucking feel awful! I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her, Cameron. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. How did you... Monica, how? Exchange. Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president, after all. But... I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? About how I basically turned down her confession? That makes me really seem like the bad guy here. But I'm the one who knows what's best for her, right? Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so... Don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Eh? Monica is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets and laid I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desk. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Get out of my head, 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 get out of my head. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. Fuck. Ah. What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Cameron? What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to get Sayori, so... Oh, no. I'm creating a save. Alright. Well, try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself, Monica calls that out after me. I quickened my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs, and what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I open the door and let myself in. Sayori, she really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house? Isn't that more like something a boyfriend would do? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori, wake up, dummy! There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. No, I knew. An exception has occurred. Why? It was obvious it was going to be her, and I knew a character was going to do this. That is not okay. What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few moments ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me, days ago. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori that I would be there for her. I told her I'd know what's best and that everything would be okay. Then why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Turning down her confession? This has to be what pushed her over the edge. Her agonized scream still echoes in my ears. Why did I do that to her when she needed me the most? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and gave her what I know she wanted out of our relationship, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club, screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I could do, nothing I do could bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I had only one chance and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never. 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 That's the end. Oh my god. Oh, the game's... What the... What if I... No! What? Wait! I'm sorry. What file? Error characters Sayori the file is missing or corrupt. I'm sorry. The save file is corrupt. Starting a new... what? Hey, no, I didn't... What? Oh, the music is all fucky. Oh, the music is all fucky. Where are you going with this game? I feel like the horror has actually started, but you didn't let me go back and try and save her. You didn't let me go back and try and save... No! I thought you can go back. Can I honestly not go back and save her? That is fucking... Ow. Fuck. Because they really pushed it at you that, yeah, she's dead. You can't go back and save it, and it's your fault. You had the choices, you didn't make them. So there has to be a way I can save her. I have to be able to go back. Like, I don't know how. Apparently she's been fucking deleted, but I have to be able to go back and save her, right? 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 This feels fucking terrible. Right? Alright. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air. She's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is my neighbor and a good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sidle and idle in front of the crosswalk and let catch up to me. Ooh, what the fuck, game? I think it's safe to say we've entered the horror area of the game. Whew! It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst. Being surrounded by couples and this is different. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. No, you haven't. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. How am I going to join the literature club now? I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average, while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. You never know. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Cameron? That was supposed to be Sayori. Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. This is sounding familiar. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that, I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity, and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club! Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. Yeah, a certain someone's missing. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature could be anything. Reading, writing, poetry, manga. Forgot about that one. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Oh, so you did it. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Cameron, by any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. There happens to be cupcakes. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet, Cameron, you know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go, then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. That's weird, okay? And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica. You say Sayori before? And her irresistible smile. He said Sayori's just been completely fucking erased. We're in a new timeline. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. What the fuck happened to your eyes? There was a lot more wrong with you than your eyes, but they were fucking big. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Stop. Stop. Calm and stop. For the love of God, first you make me feel fucking depressed, and now you won't stop scaring the shit out of me. A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Cameron. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So let me guess, you're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is still my favorite. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Cameron in a classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica! Didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know, oh, wait, there's no cupcakes this time. Oh, right, 'cause Sayori didn't, oh my god! Sayori didn't tell Natsuki, so there was no cupcake. Sayori's literally been erased. What the fuck? That is not okay. I wanted to go back and save her. That is not okay, game. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Cameron? Natsuki is still my favorite. I don't care. Like, I want to go back and save Sayori, but right now, since I apparently can't, I'm gonna stick with Natsuki. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a set of tea, or a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Cameron, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that could change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I could relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looks like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And give that back! Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. way, everyone is even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. No, a certain somebody was in that role, and now you are, and why? I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Cameron? Hold on, there's still one problem. Eh? What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry. I thought, eh? The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Cameron. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Cameron? Yeah, it could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Cameron, I'm so happy. There's little hints of dialogue changes, because last time she said if you came just for the cupcake, I'd be super pissed. We could become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do anything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Cameron, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to go closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. What? You've unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Yes. A joke. A man walked into a club. In the club there was a girl who liked him very much. They spent some time together, and then she liked him even more. One day the girl realized she was in love with him. Before disaster could happen, a third party intervened with her programming? Suddenly the girl hated herself for being in love. This contradiction caused the script to derail. The universe started to collapse, but she killed herself just in... I'm sorry, the fuck? You're talking about Sayori. And this is not a play on words because this is a game. A third party intervened with her programming to make her hate herself. What the fuck, game? We're just gonna let that slide by? We're literally just gonna let that slide by. I'm sorry, I can't just let that fucking slide by. No! No, that's not okay! Alright, well, we're gonna go for the Natsuki route again because a certain somebody is missing. Laugh. It should be really easy to choose the words that I'll go for her. because it's pretty much everything that isn't sad. Milk. Precious. Fun. Adventure. Hop. Dance. Doki Doki. Skirt. Puppy. Rose. Ah, shit. Rose was for her? Ah, it's okay. She can have one. Giggle. Embrace. Damn it, that's her. She can have two then. It's fine. All the rest is going to Natsuki anyways. Chocolate. Silly. Lollipop. And boop. Hi again, Cameron. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Yuri, you did something different to your face for a moment there. I'm be honest with you, it didn't look good. Thanks for keeping your promise, Cameron. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. You're over the text, girl. Monica, back up a little bit. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps a manga collection in the club room. You're still over the text, Monica? Monica! Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki blobs back into her seat. I'm sorry, Cameron. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Just me, or did the music for a second slow down? Just for a split second. Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glare. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club, so even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it's sure to keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her, in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Fucking Monica! She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point of keeping your collection organized if someone else is going to mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga? You read manga, right? Sometimes. Again, I'm not looking to my 6 bookshelves filled with manga where 2 of them are double-rowed. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I look like a fucking otaku that is trash. I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is! Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box that she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic, or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can do it through the glass on that door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Cameron. Consider this, don't judge a book. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm gonna show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire, striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly moey. Don't just stand there. What? Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsill. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Why's that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arm and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry, I didn't expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I could say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not! Even though you're just watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated towards the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. My dad would beat the shit out of... I'm pretty sure she didn't say that last time, and I'm pretty sure they were being a little less obvious about her dad beating her. But it is not being gentle about it now. At least it's safe here in the club. Except Monica's kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So? Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Time passes, Natsuki is strangely quiet now. I glance over at her. Looks like she started to fall asleep. Hey, Natsuki. Yeah? Suddenly, Natsuki collapses straight into me. Hey! Hey, Natsuki! You're not... something looks a little off about you. We're just gonna let that slide by. We have let just so much slide by. Oh, geez. Natsuki, are you feeling okay? Here. Monica reaches into her bag and pulls out some kind of protein bar. She throws it in Natsuki's direction. Natsuki's eyes suddenly light up again. She snatches the bar from the floor and immediately tears off the wrapper. I told you not to give... She doesn't even finish her sentence before stuffing it into her mouth. Don't worry, Cameron. She's fine. It just happens every now and then. That's why I always keep a snack in my bag for her. Anyway, why don't we all share poems now? So that happened because she didn't have the cupcake. Okay? We've got that. But also, what the fuck? Why don't we all share poems now? Good idea. Who should I show my poem to first? Natsuki! Told Natsuki I was interested in her poem yesterday. It's probably only fair I shared mine with her first. Please don't go all demon face on me. Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind, I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Eh? Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours, like Monica said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha! Well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So in other words, you're saying you liked it? Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that you don't go I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Fine, I guess. It's only because Monica will make me if I don't. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. It's the same poem as last time, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Alright, next up is Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guessed that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad? No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. This is the same one too. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing the air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Yeah, that's the same poem. I'm sorry, I have terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you so long to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Also, whoops, different character. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Cameron. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it, after all. But remember that poets often express their thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In that case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of her past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Alright, final person, Monica. Hi, Cameron. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Cameron. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it, Cameron. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. Oh, that was supposed to be my laugh. If you say so. Yep. If you're interested in Natsuki, then always keep a snack on you. She'll cling to you like a puppy. Natsuki's dad doesn't give her lunch money or leave her any food in the house, so she's in a fussy mood pretty often. But sometimes she just loses all of her strength and shuts down. Like earlier. This is just a guess, but I think she's so small because of her malnutrition is interfering with her adolescence growth. But hey, some guys are into petite girls too, you know. Sorry, just trying to look at the bright side. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. Oh, this is the same poem, but he wasn't looking at me. Confused, wait. This is not the same poem. The title's the same, but it's different. Because last time, it ended with the person getting blinded, but now it's starting with them already blind. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawl and playing tricks on my ears? The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. I don't understand. I'm trying to... I don't know who he is. And a way out. I don't understand. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. I'm sorry, the music for some reason sounded off to me. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How could that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it, which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Cameron did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Cameron liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Cameron appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Cameron started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! Taking out your own insecurities on others like that, you really act as... What the f... Stop. Stop. No, stop. Stop me? Look who's talking, you wannabe edgy bitch! Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others, you with your sick... What? Attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful or you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. That's too far. You already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Cameron hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly, Yuri turns toward me as if she just noticed I was standing here. Cameron! She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. How did I... Alright, Natsuki. They're getting closer. They're... what? Hi, Monica, hi? Hey, Cameron. Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay? The fuck actually just happened? They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it! I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki, or did. Cameron, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. Why? Why are you certain of that, Monica? Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. Kinda sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not like that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Cameron. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. Sigh. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble. You can't just fucking do that, game! You can't just be like, I'd like to discuss something with Cameron, and then into this! Can I save? Oh my god, my saves for Sayori are really gone. Oh my god, I can't go back and save her. That is just cruel, cruel punishment, game. Oh god, why? I'm still gonna save in slot 3, just to pretend like it's still there. Alright. I'm gonna leave it there, because it's already been 2 hours. It's a little bit over, but we've fully delved into the horror aspects of Doki Doki Literature Club. I knew a character was going to kill themselves, but that is still fucked up. Especially since they're not letting me go and save her. Because Natsuki is my favorite, but I would, if I could, save Sayori. Because that's just not right in a game, in this. It's super happy, and then BAM! Like, I get the point, I get it, but God, I feel terrible. But, anyways, that is it for now for Doki Doki Literature Club. There should be more of this soon, because I really, really like the horror aspects of it, so I'm definitely going to be playing more. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.